Well, hello there, my bows and bow ties. So, I just want to get right on into it. I'm a Black Opinionated woman, also known as a bow. I just wanted to talk about black and, you know. Now, for those of you who know, you know. We're going to talk about black and. So, let me just get right on into it. Go ahead and hit the like. When you see this, go ahead and just like it. And go ahead and subscribe, okay? Just go ahead and do it. Black and. Now, because I'm entertaining, at least I am in my own mind. I'm my own hype woman. Now, where am I going with this? I don't have much time because I am en route to pick my children up from their basketball camp. So, this isn't going to be long. So, hopefully, hey, I see you, Derek, and what's up? I can't really access this right now, so I'm just going to have to let it, just come across the screen here. So, this isn't going to be very long. This is going to be pretty simple. Black and. Now, my people who know, they know what I'm talking about. Look, I can get into the whole conversation about white supremacy and all this stuff, but I'm just going to keep this light so that the mass majority of people who consume this will get it. When I say black people like saying they are black and, I'm going to lend a level of specificity. It's primarily for those who are black Americans. I'm talking about whose parents were born here, their parents were born here, and great-grandparents, etc., etc., etc. Okay? I'm not talking about those who are first or second generation from the Caribbean or from the continent. I'm talking about those who are truly part of diaspora born here and who have a long lineage of having black elders from here. Now, I'm trying not to go deep on this only because I don't have a whole lot of time. But it kills me when black people, the blackity blacks, they always just want to say they are black and. Now, the vast majority of us, at least those who have any sort of lineage here, we know that we are all mixed up. Now, for those dum-dums who are so ill-informed, a lot of people will think that, when they look at someone with a darker hue, that they couldn't possibly have any mixture. I would just challenge those people to go read some books, go surround yourself with blackity blacks, access Google. Google is your friend. We have access to the same internet. But I just find it interesting, and I think what happens is this. Black people who are born here in the United States, who have parents and grandparents and great-grands and great-great-grands, and, I'm going further back, right? It's like we have been told collectively as a unit that, the closer to non-black you are, the better. Or the closer to whiteness, the better, right? Like that was the standard. We had the paper bag test. We had all these other things going on. And so, over time, if you look at what's going on in our society right now, we got our rappers who don't even like black women because they talk so bad about them. So they're interested in like non-black women and all the exoticals, or we're calling them preferences now. They're preferences. We see all that going on. And I don't actually think it's wrong with liking other women. I just think that there is like this I don't know, it's in vogue. Okay? We've got all that going on. We got black women black women seem to be halfway trying to get themselves together. They're learning to love who they are, right? It's a process. But generally speaking, as a community, we look at the lighter the better. The more mixed you are, the better. People are seeking out all kinds of people, just so that maybe their offspring are black and. Okay? Because if you're just a regular black, it's like you're on the bottom of the totem pole. And I get this notion, this feeling, this impression that the whole goal is to try to not be on the bottom. And so I think even as a community, we associate ourselves, and this isn't everyone, so look, I'm not going to sit here and have to cherry pick all the exceptions. We associate being black as being on the bottom. And heaven forbid, if we are deeply melanated, heaven forbid, well, we can't possibly get together with another deeply melanated person, right? If we are brown, if we're dark brown, because we're all brown, right? that it's even worse. So it's like we're searching for the and. So like back in the day, it was like it was normal for everyone to say I'm black and Indian. First of all, knowing what we know now, that's actually, we don't walk around calling the Native Americans Indian. Like, and actually many of the Native Americans or the natives are like, Indians are from India. But it was really popularized to be part of the black and Indian crew. And if you had any sort of if your eyes had any sort of, like, I want to say slant, but I don't want to say it in a derogatory manner, because I know those who are part of the Asian community don't like being told that they have slanty eyes. Like, that is a microaggression, right? So, but what I will say is, if you look at the shape of anyone with, like, I think it's lovely, but I don't even know what I can say right now, right? So I'm just going to say, if your eyes resemble those of maybe those who are part of the Asian community, you know, people would say like, oh, I'm black and Asian or whatever, from the Caribbean or whatever it is, right? And it very well could be true. Or it really could just mean that you have the Asian phenotype. It could have just been like, or Asians have a particular phenotype, but also black people do also have the same phenotype. But we were searching for the and, like everybody wants an and. And then if you were lucky to have the coveted whiteness, oh my. So it's interesting. I bring this up because right now, you know, you see what my hair looks like, right? Because I don't give a F. I'm doing this right now because this is just where I'm at. But when I get my hair professionally done, and if I'm wearing certain things, you know, people love to come up and ask me if I'm Dominican. Well, first of all, that's a nationality. I guess it's an ethnic group too, but it's not like a race. They'll ask me if I'm Puerto Rican. They'll ask me if I have some mixture in my family. And in my mind, I'm like, well, we all have mixture, right? I tell them I'm black. That's it. Now, I know I have mixture in my family, but it's not enough for me to walk around and say I'm black and, or at least not to me. I don't even know if there's a quantifiable way of identifying mixed race anyway, right? Because we're all somewhat mixed up. Now, I was lending some specificity towards black Americans because, well, we also are, I hate saying it, but we're homeless, right? The vast majority of us are, you know, we're homeless. Those who come from, you know, the continent. Now, when I say the continent, for those of you who don't understand what I'm saying, I'm talking about the African continent, right? Those of you who are coming from Ghana or Nigeria or like, I don't even want to say Liberia too much, but maybe, but you know, Ethiopia. I'm having a moment here. I don't really meet too many people from Kenya, to be honest, you know. And it seems like the people that I meet from South Africa have been white. They have not been black. So the point I'm making is, if you're coming from Cote d'Ivoire, you know, all those places like that, right? Benin and Togo, you know, they have an identity. So they like to align themselves with their native land. So they don't have a problem with claiming their blackness. They like to claim their country, at least their family's country or history or whatever. But black people here in the United States were homeless, and there is like the trauma of dealing with the whole being enslaved situation. It's like for so long, you know, we've been told that we're this and that we're that and that we're less than. And so, you know what happens is, like, people want to align themselves with something other than black. It's almost like a pecking order. If you're homeless, well, then try to be another race. We've got women out here with wigs that are like, I'm like, well, not to say that we can't have hair like that, but when we go for changing our look and our hair, we always go for the straight and silky. We don't go for the, you know, the situation I've got going on. Okay? Now, granted, I do have some curl pattern to it, so, you know, but it was also twisted. But it is what it is. We don't go for, generally speaking, the ultra ethnic, and even you can challenge what I just said, right? Like, what does that mean, right? We don't go for that look. We go for something other than what is typically associated with a black phenotype. So we're all searching for the and. We're black and. Well, I shouldn't say we're all, but you guys get the point I'm making. So I'm not going to go out of my way to start giving out a whole bunch of exceptions. If I got to go out of my way to prove the exception, then the rule rings true. All right, so I am close to my destination. Oh, I've got a few minutes. They get out at 3:30. It's 3:22. It is what it is. I don't even know after I'm done with this if I'll even make this live until the next day. I don't know when I'm going to make this live. I might make it live immediately. I got to do some back-end SEOing on this, right? Upload a new thumbnail and all. But I just thought it was interesting. We're all looking for the black and. We can't just say, hey, I am an American who's black. We've got black people right now out here in these streets embarrassed to be called American. I'm like, chick, cat, you know black people from some of these other locations don't even claim. What am I doing now? See, I know y'all laughing at me, right? Because I was running my mouth. And now I got to back into this parking space. Now look, y'all don't stop judging me because I'm usually good at this type of thing. All right. Okay, I'm good. Let me straighten this out. This looks good. All right. Okay. So, Demeter, you want to know what city I'm in? I'm not telling you what city I'm in, honey. So, not doing that. But anyway, like I said, we've got people out here in these streets searching for their and. Everybody wants to be an and. And I'm like, why can't you just say that you're black and American? Black people are out here hopping around, flapping their gums. Let me just say this. Now, I hate all these generalities. Many black people have not even stepped outside of the United States. And you think I'm funny to me? I entertain myself. I told you you were going to love me. Go ahead and subscribe. Hit the thumbs up. I'm like, black people won't even leave the country. Okay, but they all want to claim to be blackity black. Like I'm sorry, like whatever they've done on their DNA search or whatever, right? And I'm like, most of the people who are from these places, I'm sitting here like, thanks, Tamita. Most of these people are sitting here like that. I've seen when you talk to people who come from Nigeria. One girl came from was it Zimbabwe? No, maybe it was Mozambique. Now that was more inland. I can't remember where she came from. When they're getting down with it, when they wanted to give you the real truth, and I'm like, yeah, I'm already. Thank you, Demita. I'm sitting here thinking like people from these other locations like run us down. They want to sit there, walk around with a pick, with a fist in, and all this other stuff like that. I'm like, they don't even rock with you like that. Now, that doesn't mean they're not nice. But at the end of the day, it's not like black people from the continent who are living in the United States are welcoming the regular old blackity black into their circles. They're not inviting us to learn how to cook the Joffrey rice or whatever it is. They're not inviting us. Even those from the Caribbean now. Look, I like the Caribbean food. But I'm like, it's not like they're saying, hey, come hang out with the Jamaicans. Now, if you live in New York or someplace like that, well then, yeah, I mean, like you'll have access. But even still, it's like as soon as they want to distinguish themselves, they suddenly have an accent. It's like they got to put on an accent. It's an instant separation. And so I'm just looking at it like this. I just tell people I am a black woman. I was born here in the United States, as effed up as it is. I know, generally speaking, if I were to go, I'm sure if I visit the continent, I would love to get to the continent. I haven't done the continent yet. But judging by what people who have uttered out of their own mouths have said to me, I'm like, why would I want to go visit a country when the people who left the country and came here have read all the blackity blacks who were born here the Riot Act? I'll never forget. There was a woman who told me we are taught that black men, she said, we are taught that black men are drug dealers and thieves. And I was like, well, wow. I'm like, now granted, there's other things in play and why someone or a group of people would be taught that, right? You know, to pit people against each other. But nevertheless, they come over, they talk about how bad black women are and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, you're very fortunate that you get to come to the United States and run amok as far as talking about black people. I'm like, black people have done a lot for people who weren't even born here to come over here and to enjoy or take advantage of the things that we had to fight for. We're a very imperfect group of people. Well, actually, I'm perfect. in every way. But what I'm saying is, I just kind of feel like you can't come over here flapping your gums. You can't tell me that like all these things are bad. I'm like, because if your country was so great, why aren't you there? Why aren't you making that better? Now I digress. Let me get back. It's 3:27. I got 3 minutes. Look, all I'm saying is the black people here, everyone is on this I am black and tip. Black and. Because they don't align with the country, right? So most of us were born here. We've created our own culture, our own history here. We are the drivers of culture. Now, I am biased. I am allowed to be biased. It's my channel. I can think and say what I want. It's my safe space. But what I am saying is the black people here are on the struggle bus. Everybody's looking for their and. Why do we have to look for the ands? Why can't we just say, yeah, I'm black? We all have some mixtures. At what percentage are we allowed to claim mixture? Because I told people, I said, look, when you let me know, and if I meet that category, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to start putting down a census that I'm a white woman. I'm like, hey, you can't tell me. As a matter of fact, we're all living in this postmodernist society anyway, right? And everybody gets to identify how they want. Men are identifying as women are identifying as men. We got a whole lot going on. People are identifying as other races and everything else. You know what? Today I'm identifying as a whole white woman. I don't have to look like it. I get to choose how I want to identify. Everybody else is identifying. I want some of these privileges. I want some privileges. Matter of fact, I may just have a full-on Karen moment as I walk inside to get my children. A full-on Karen moment. I may just go off. All right. I need to go get my children because I've got some pork chops in the oven. I need to get back and get them all situated. My daughter has a lacrosse practice at 5:30. I want to make sure my children are fed. My husband abandoned me so he can get his hair cut, which I love when he gets his hair cut and gets all lined up and everything. And yeah, let me go pretend like I'm a good parent. I'm going to channel my inner Karen because I'm a white woman today. I don't know how long it's going to last, for another 2 minutes, but I'm going to walk in like a full-on white woman. And now I say that tongue in cheek, because a lot of the white women I know that don't even act like that. They're just kind of like, what is going on? All right. That's it. I will upload a new thumbnail later and all that good stuff. Black Opinionated woman.